Hello, hi, my name is Hillary. Oh. And I would like to start this video with a story time. Once upon a time, there was just a gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, banger, gorgeous, kind, considerate, successful, just lovely, perfect little person named Hills, who went to an educational institution in the most southern tip of Africa we shall call PW Island. It was at this very PW Island that Hills was able to take advantage of the various after-school activities that were available to her, and so she did. She soared the skies in the netball courts. She was a 5'8" dancing mushroom for some goddamn reason. And yes, she was also a theatre kid. So what was a young girl with big dreams of being on the big screen supposed to do with her life post-high school? That's right, folks. She got a marketing degree. But once her Nigerian parents' anxieties were satisfied with that piece of paper, what was a slightly yes young but still young girl with big dreams of being on the big screen supposed to do with her life post-college? And then it hit her. The last child of 3, she was filled with glee when she decided to choose a career that was all about me. I mean her. Okay, back to normal English now. It all went downhill when she met her arch nemesis, USCIS. Okay, I'm officially done with that. Hi, my name is Hillary. I was born and raised in South Africa. I moved to the US 4 or 5 years ago to pursue getting my master's in acting for film at the New York Film Academy. I've since graduated. I'm on my OPT/O1 grind, and I'm currently in the middle of creating a series of videos that I wish I had when I first moved here and was applying for all of my visas, going through the F1 visa application process, applying for your OPT, being an F1 student. You know, just essentially blah blah blah. I've been here for 5 years legally, and I'm here to share with you some information that I wish I knew when I first moved here. So please stay tuned for more videos coming up. I should already have 2 videos uploaded on the topic. Future videos are coming very soon. Please stay in tune for that. Long unnecessary intro aside, in this video I will be discussing the step-by-step guides that I used to apply for the F1 student visa in the US. So without further ado, here are the 10 steps. The very first step to applying for an F1 visa in the US is to receive an acceptance letter from an SEVP-certified school. Obviously, you will not be able to attend a school in the United States without an acceptance letter. So if you're looking for a good first place to start looking to schools that have an SEVP-certified program, and then from then on start looking to the requirements of what you might need to be accepted into that program. I actually got scouted. That's not the right word. I received a partial scholarship to the New York Film Academy when I performed at a performing arts conference in Florida in 2018. Time is fake, wow. So that's how I initially received my acceptance letter. Definitely look into what your school may require for you to do to get accepted. You might need to write a letter of support, which I did. The letter was about like why I wanted to go into filmmaking and like my passion, my goals, my dreams, etc. For some, this is probably your idols worthy sob story. After being accepted into your school, you will need to pay the SEVP fee, which is $350 last time I checked. You will receive a Form I-20, which kind of looks like that for your chosen institution. You'll be required to pay the SEVP I-901 fee online, then make sure to keep that receipt for your visa interview. Get ready to spend a lot of money. Maybe that's step 2.5. Get ready to spend a lot of money. The third step to applying for your student visa is to complete the DS I-60 form. Your DS 160 form is just information that the school needs about you, essentially. Then you can go ahead and schedule your visa interview. Please book your US visa appointment ahead of time. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. I think at a certain point during COVID, there was like a 6-month to 8-month wait for a visit at the US Embassy for specifically an F1 visa. So just be prepared with that. Step 5 is to pay for the visa application fee. This is a non-refundable fee that varies depending on your country of origin. Remember when I told you to get ready to spend money? Yeah. The 6th step to applying for your F1 visa, and this for me was the most stressful one, was to gather all of your visa documents. The reason why this was stressful for me is because I am my father's daughter. I'm a panicker. I over collected, if that makes sense. I remember arriving to my visa interview and I had a thick folder that was like this thick, and then I saw another man and he had like 4 documents, 6 tops, because they only need 6 or 7 documents. But I brought a letter of support, I brought my history, I brought my mom's passport, I brought my dad's passport, I brought a description of the school. I was over prepared because I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared. During the visa interview, they don't necessarily like accept or decline you on the spot. But there's a pretty good indication as to where your application is leaning. Actually, I think they can deny you on the spot. I remember a story my mom told me about her friend that got denied on the spot because she was too heavily pregnant to fly. So they were like, you're not allowed to get your visa right now. So they might deny you on the spot. Anyways, and I'm going to read these points right now. The required documents for you, right over here, is a valid passport, your Form DS-160 confirmation page, so you get that after completing the DS-160 form, your CVSP payment receipt, your Form I-20 issued by your school. You would also need to provide proof of financial ability to cover tuition and living expenses. I will be explaining finances in another video coming up. But essentially, my school required that I had the equivalent of $1,900 times 12 in my account at the time of the visa appointment. This, I think, is just a way for the US to ensure that you're not just going to, arrive in the US and disappear. I don't know how much it is now. That was 4 or 5 years ago, so it most likely is more than that at this point. You'd also need academic transcripts and diplomas. I was applying for a master's program, so I provided my bachelor's degree. I also printed out all of my high school certificates, all the way down to the half colors for netball. Oh, did I get full colors? Anyway, you would also need standardized test scores if required.
Surprise, shawty!
Sorry about that. Well, remember when Nick Jonas had diabetes and people were losing their shit over it? Anyway, back to what I was talking about. And then the last thing we'll need is passport size photographs. The US requirement for passport photos is 5x5, so you need to make sure you ask specifically for those God, English has left me. The 7th step is to attend the visa interview. I've never experienced anxiety like I have the day that I attended my visa interview, because I don't know, I felt like they were going to deport me from South Africa. First of all, the embassy in Transkei in Cape Town, it's so clean. I was at the appointment 15-20 minutes early, waited behind a long line of people with so many less documents than I had. The lady kind of calls your number out. She asks for you to wait in line, and the lady or the security lines you guys up according to your time appointment. Go through security where you're not allowed to take any electronics into the grounds. So no phones, no Kindles, nothing technological. You go into the visa appointment kind of just with your documents. At your visa appointment, you kind of wait at 2 or 3 gates. You check in with security, then you speak to one person where you kind of give your information, your reason for coming. Then you go into a second line where you give a little bit more detailed information, a little bit more specifics, and may ask you some questions like what's your intention to traveling, where will you be staying. I think they once asked me a trick question like what if I'll be coming back. And I said, of course, because even if you don't plan to come back, I believe you need to just share that you should come back. I think they just want to know that they're not like losing talent or a South African to the US. So whatever your intentions are, you don't necessarily need to lie. Just this is where you might want to express your intention to come back. Whether you have family or maybe a job lined up, an opportunity. If you go into the 3rd line where they scan your passport, they do your biometrics, forgetting if it's the 2nd or 3rd line there. If you go into the 3rd line, you're good, you're Gucci, you most likely have it. If you have a little hiccup in the 2nd line, they may ask you to come back or they may just deny you on the spot. It really just all depends who you get at the appointment. Always try to be nice, cordial, kind, professional. Don't dilly-dally, don't like play around. This isn't necessarily the place for like jokes. They just want straightforward information. You don't need to play around with them. Do not play around with them. Do not play around with them. So to sum up point number 7, you should be prepared to answer questions about your academic background, your intended course of study, your financial situation, and the ties to your home country. After you've presented all of your information and documents to the consular officer, step 8 starts, which is when you just wait for your visa processing. This can take a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks. You hand in your passport at the visa appointment, and in 2 weeks' time, you might need to pick it up from a location, or it might be shipped to a location that you previously disclosed. And if approved, your passport should arrive with an F1 visa stamp that kind of looks like this. No! Not done. So after the exciting news that you've been approved, you've been accepted, you have your F1 visa, Your next step, step number 9, is to travel to the US. Once you receive your visa, you can start making official plans to travel. Please make sure you arrive in the US no earlier than 30 days before the start date of your academic year. This is where you might need to spend even more money. Oh, another piece of information you might want to provide during your visa interview is your intended flight that you plan to take. I personally think it's just a little fun thing to have, a little extra cherry on the cake. And then after you've traveled to the US, the 10th step is to report to your school. So upon arrival to the US, you need to make sure to report to your DSO, your designated school official. Your DSO will be helping you with your final steps of your enrollment. By following all the steps that I just provided, you should successfully be able to apply for your F1 visa and officially begin your academic journey in the US. I know it can all seem like a lot and it can all seem very daunting and scary, but it's all very doable. It's generally just all like a checklist, and I just provided you guys a step-by-step guide on what to do and how to apply for your F1. So I hope that this video kind of removes the anxieties of what to do next, because I just provided it for you. Anyways, that is how you apply for an F1 student visa into the United States of the Americas. Thank you very, very much for watching. God, I really wish I had videos like this when I first applied, because there was just so much that I didn't know. I wish someone would just say it in plain English, but I never received it in plain English. It was always it was something I felt like I needed to dig for, like people were gatekeeping how to study here. That is not what I'm here to do. I want you guys to have the easiest way to get into the US, because it's doable, it's legal, it's fun, and it's fine. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I've also been asking that you guys leave comments down below of your journeys, of your experience into the US. Also, please feel free to DM me if you have any questions or any concerns. I will be responding to all of them. And if you're looking to connect, please send me a DM on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm realizing that I want to build a community of international folk just so I can speak to people that might understand how, I don't even want to say dehumanizing, but stressful this visa application process has been. I think it would be very nice to meet some people that I can relate to. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Thank you very, very much for watching, and please stay tuned for another video coming next week. Fingers crossed. Okay, bye.